This glacier in West Antarctica is called the Doomsday Glacier, and that's not clickbait. If it collapses, we will all feel it. Right now, scientists are doing their best to understand what's happening underneath it, because once this glacier goes, we won't be able to stop this catastrophic process. Its name is actually Thwaites, and it's an almost 80-mile-wide formation. So what will happen if it collapses? Huge chunks of ice will start snapping off and crashing into the ocean. That will push sea levels higher, and fast. Then things will get even worse. When ice disappears too quickly, it can trigger sudden flooding along nearby coastlines. In extreme cases, it can even create local tsunami-like waves, more than enough to cause serious damage. And it'll be just the beginning. If Thwaites gives way completely, it will raise global sea levels. Cities like Bangkok, Manila, parts of the Netherlands, and entire islands will start disappearing underwater. Millions of people will have to move. But dumping so much fresh water into the ocean can mess with currents, change temperatures all over the world, and impact weather patterns far from Antarctica. Seasons might stop behaving the way they used to. And the worst part is that once this chain reaction starts, it's likely to be irreversible. That's why scientists are watching Thwaites so closely right now. To figure out how this could fall apart, researchers started analyzing the cracks in giant ice shelves. Think of these shelves like massive floating platforms of ice. They sit on the ocean, but they're still attached to land, like a door that only stays in place thanks to its hinges. As long as the shelf stays intact, it slows the glacier behind it. But if cracks spread and the shelf breaks, the glacier basically loses its brake and starts sliding into the ocean way faster. Using tons of NASA satellite images, scientists examined deep vertical cracks in Antarctica's ice sheet. This is the biggest block of ice on Earth. It's already losing about 136 billion tons of ice every year. They zoomed in on one especially fragile spot, the Thwaites ice shelf sticking out from the Thwaites Glacier in West Antarctica. Right now, the ice shelf in front of Thwaites works like a cork in a bottle. It slows everything down, but if that cork pops out, it'll kick off a chain reaction. Interestingly, the way these cracks form turned out to be way more complicated than we used to think. Older models supposed that ice broke in predictable ways, like snapping a clean piece of glass. In reality, it behaves more like a windshield full of tiny fractures. They're spreading in odd directions and changing over time. That's why the team worked out a new approach to studying the cracks. The Thwaites ice shelf is super shaky right now. It changes fast, and it's full of cracks. Plus, the ice there is moving more quickly than it should. And since this shelf is the last thing holding the rest of the glacier together, it's not a great sign. It's like a cracked dam. While it's standing, it slows the water behind it. But once it breaks, nothing will be able to stop the rush. The problem is, ice shelves don't mend themselves. Once a big chunk breaks off, it's gone for good. That's why researchers are so focused on spotting the warning signs before the break happens. The goal is to figure out exactly when an ice shelf is getting close to failing. To do that, the team used NASA's IceSat-2 satellite, which was scanning Antarctica from space between 2018 and 2024. This satellite is incredibly precise. It can measure tiny changes in ice height and track how the surface shifts over time. Using that data, the researchers created a new way to slice through the ice digitally. It lets them see detailed cross-sections of cracks, almost like X-rays of the ice shelf. Now, they can observe how different types of fractures grow, spread, and connect. That's how they found out that the eastern side of the Thwaites ice shelf looked much more broken up, while the western side seemed pretty stable. Scientists aren't sure why yet, but it might be due to warmer winters, less sea ice protecting the shelf, and changing ocean currents flowing underneath it. This new work was based on an earlier study from 2023. It looked at the Larsen B ice shelf, which completely collapsed back in 2002. That shelf was huge, about 1,250 square miles, roughly the size of Rhode Island. After years of weakening from warmer air and ocean water, it shattered in just 5 weeks. At that time, no one saw it coming, even though the warning signs were there. Now things are different. With the new research method, we have much better tools to spot trouble early and figure out where cracks are likely to spread next. The team also gathered satellite data from more than 40 ice shelves across Antarctica. It's like building a gigantic map of cracks across the continent. Now, this dataset includes detailed 3D information showing where fractures are and how deep they go. That's the kind of data scientists have been missing previously. The big ice sheets in Greenland and Antarctica are super sensitive to warming temperatures. As the planet heats up, huge parts of these ice sheets could suddenly collapse. Researchers have identified 3 main ways this could happen. First, the ice could slide. In some places, the ground under the ice slopes downward as you move inland. Warm ocean water might eat away at the ice from below, and then the ice will start sliding faster into the sea. The floating ice shelves out front are supposed to slow things down, but they're often too weak to help. The second way is linked to ice cliffs. When an ice shelf breaks apart, it leaves behind a tall wall of ice, like a giant frozen cliff. If that cliff gets taller than about a 30-story building, it can't support its own weight. Meltwater seeps into cracks, pries them open, and big chunks start to collapse. That collapse leads to even taller cliffs, which can also fail. It's basically another chain reaction. And the third way is the melting on top problem. As ice melts, the surface gets lower. Lower ice sits in warmer air. Warmer air causes even more melting. That's a vicious circle that keeps speeding things up. West Antarctica is one of the biggest trouble spots. After all, it's home to fast-moving glaciers like Pine Island and Thwaites. Satellites show that these glaciers are thinning, retreating, and flowing faster into the ocean. These are clear signs that the first problem, the sliding one, may already be happening. And sadly, according to computer models, this retreat won't stop anytime soon. In Greenland, the biggest concern is surface melting. Over the past decade, melting on top of the ice has increased a lot. These days, it's the main reason why Greenland is losing ice. In a worst-case scenario, especially in West Antarctica, some models suggest that huge ice loss could happen in less than 300 years. That means by the year 2300, sea levels could already be much higher than expected and coastal flooding would be far more common around the world. Right now, the latest reports say sea levels could rise anywhere from 1 foot to over 5 feet by 2100. Satellites already show that parts of Greenland and Antarctica are thinning and flowing faster than they used to. Computer models help test what might happen next. What if these changes could feed on themselves and speed up ice loss even more? So, right now, researchers from all over the world are working together to figure out how close these ice sheets are to tipping points. There's still a lot we don't know. Some models suggest certain ice failures might not be as dramatic as we fear. Others say the risks are very real. That's why understanding this better matters so much. The clearer the picture gets, the better chance we have to reduce future damage and avoid constant coastal flooding, more powerful storms, and millions of people being forced to move away from their homes.